Salvete, mihi nomen est Stephen. Mihi nomen est Stephen. Bene est mihi hodie. Bene est mihi. In Britannia habito, in Anglia habito, et linguam Latinam doceo. Mihi nomen est Stephen. Bene est mihi hodie. In Britannia, in Anglia habito, et linguam Latinam doceo. What did I say? My name's Stephen. Should know that by now if you're following the videos. I'm well today. Hodie. Bene est mihi. Bene means well. It's well. It goes well to me. Bene est mihi hodie. You can try these. Mihi nomen est. Bene est mihi. I said in Anglia or Britannia habito, like habitat. I live. Habito in. You try it. You might need to look up the country or the place in the dictionary, but you can make the phrase. And I said linguam Latinam, the Latin language. Linguam Latinam doceo. I teach from the verb docere. So there you go. Well done if you understood all or even some of what I just said. All right, guys. Let's crack on with another video. This is Unit 2. And the videos are sequential if you've just dropped in. So you're welcome to watch this, but it might be worth your while just going back and watching the other ones first. Quick revision then. Second declension nouns. I said they can be masculine or neuter. We've not got onto the neuter ones yet, but that's coming soon. The masculine ones, for the most part, end in us. We've got dominus here, meaning master. All right, dominus. Let's go through the cases. We know them by now, and just recite the endings. So, dominus, domine, dominum. Domini, domino, domino. Dominus, domine, dominum. Domini, of the master. Domino, to or for the master. Domino, ablative, by, from, or with the master. Plural. Domini, domini, dominos. Dominorum, dominis, dominis. Domini, domini, dominos. Dominorum, dominis, dominis. Can you remember any other words that work like this? Us words, masculine. What about, I'll say the English, see how quickly you can come up with the Latin. What about garden? Hortus, hortus, think horticulture. Slave, servus, spelled with a V in the middle, servus, servus. A sword, think of the type of person in the arena who might carry the sword. Gladius, gladiator, but sword, gladius, gladius. A son, as in a male child. Filius, a pupil. Do you remember that one? The teacher teaches his pupil, a bit like disciple. Discipulus, filius, discipulus. Okay, a horse. Equus, equus. A cook. Coquus, coquus. A field. Campus, where you camp. Campus. We said in the garden, ablative, in horto, in the field, in campo. All right, and then in the last video we looked at second declension nouns, masculine, that take a slightly different form. They don't have the us, they have er. So we looked at the word for boy. Girl is puella, puella. Boys starts the same, puer, puer. So er, puer. And if we just conjugate it, we go to the r, and then we add our endings. So puer, puer, vocative's the same. Puer, puer, puerum, accusative. I see the boy, I know the boy. Pueri, puero, puero. So it is the same. Puer, puer, puerum. Pueri, puero, puero, plural. Pueri, pueri, pueros. Puerorum, pueris, pueris. Again, singular, then plural. This is boy. Puer, puer, puerum. Pueri, puero, puero. Plural. Pueri, pueri, pueros. Puerorum, pueris, pueris. And then we had similar, the word for book, a bit like library, liber, with a short I sound, liber. Liber is an adjective, it means free. But liber is a book. And this time, very similar, but from the accusative onwards, instead of liberum, liberi, that E in the middle, it's like a mobile E because it moves out of the way and just shortens to librum. Liber, liber, librum, libri, libro, libro. Liber, liber, librum, libri, libro, libro. Same declension, same endings, it just gets there in a slightly different way. Plural, the books, libri, libri, libros. So that's going to be accusative. I read the books, I have the books, I collect the books. As opposed to that nominative, the books are on the table, something like that. The books are interesting. Libri, libri, libros, librorum, libris, libris. Libri, libri, libros, librorum, libris, libris. All right, so that was the last video. So if you didn't check that out already, maybe go back to that either now or later just to catch up. What I want to introduce now are pronouns. So this is a noun, isn't it? A noun, person, place or thing, master, house, a girl, table, or an abstract concept that you can't necessarily see, but we can understand, we can conceptualize it. Love, courage, peace, those kind of things, friendship. Well, a pronoun, pro, is in place of. So pronoun stands in place of a noun. You're not just going to keep saying, Marcus, where is Marcus? Marcus is in the garden. Marcus is working hard. Marcus is drinking water. You'd say he to replace. So that's what we're doing here. So we're looking at personal pronouns. Now I did mention some of these already in Unit 1. I said to you that I, nominative, is ego, and you for one person is tu, ego and tu. I also said, if you remember, that we don't use these too frequently in the Latin. Can you remember the reason for that? I mean, you can use them and it's not wrong. I'm just saying they don't appear with the same frequency as they would certainly in English and many modern languages. They're not needed really because the verb forms are each distinguishable, distinct. Let's take the irregular verb to be. Do you remember that one in the infinitive? Begins with es, esse, to be, esse. Quite irregular, quite unusual. Some. Es, you are, he, she, it, est, with a T on the end. Es, you are, one person doesn't have T. Es, est. Some, es, est. Some, es, est. Plural, we, somos. Some to somos. Estis, you guys. Sunt, they are. Right, each one of those, sum es est, sumus estis sunt, each one is different, it's distinct. Therefore, to say ego sum, well, it's redundant, it's not giving you any extra meaning, because we already knew from some that it could only possibly be me, just like sunt can only be they. So that's why we don't necessarily need them, but, you can use them, and occasionally you will see them. So, ego tu. He and she, quite rare really to see when you're reading, but it's, if you want it, it's is for he, ea is she, so these are all nominative. He is working, he is in the garden, she is eating. Yeah, doing the action or being, nominative. They, a or ai, so it kind of extends, and if you think about it, like nominative plural, girls, puellae, houses, villae, matrons, matronae, so that's not unexpected that feminine plural. Now the a would be if they're all masculine, either people or things, remembering that all nouns have a gender. So book, the books, they, you'd have to use that one. Or if you're generic and it's a mixture of masculine and feminine, then you'd use the masculine plural as well. So the ai is strictly for the all feminine. So if you're saying the girls, they, the daughters, they, definitely all female, then you'd use the ai one. But, as I just said, these nominative pronouns, is, ea, ai, really quite rare, guys. So I'm not even concerned too much. I mean, you might want to just write them in your notebook for reference, but I'm not too concerned about you learning these at the moment, whereas the accusative ones certainly do crop up all the time. There's no way of getting around them, so you need to know them. So accusative, remember, it's direct object. Now we distinguish in English as well. You'd say, I am in the room now. My father calls me, but you wouldn't say he calls I. It sounds silly. That's just from your instinct, from your hearing the language and growing up with it or having learnt it and exposed to it. There is a reason. I am in the room now. I am the subject. That's nominative. Nominative subject pronoun. My father calls me. He's doing the action. He's a subject. Me is the object or accusative pronoun. So without having necessarily learnt nominative and accusative in English, it is precisely that. Subject, object. That's what it is. We don't bother with you, do we, in modern English? You for one person. You are very busy today. I see you. It's the same. Well, in Latin, we do distinguish. So, ego to me, just like English, me. Ego me. He sees me. Me. Father calls me. Pater. Father, pater, me, vocat. You can't say pater ego vocat. It's confusing. Pater me. I call you, one person. Ego te. Voco, vocare. Te voco. I love you, talking to one person. Te amo. Te amo, I greet you. Te saluto. So you couldn't say two in that case, because you are not doing the action, you're receiving it. You're undergoing it. Suffering the action, so to speak. All right, I think I'm making myself clear. Ego me tu te. Ego me tu te. Right, what becomes with is? Well, just in English, you can't say I see he. I see he. You say I see him. And we get the M, eum. Feminine ea, eam, her. I know her, I love her. Eam, eum, eam. Now, this is not surprising at all. If we think back to our declensions, think back to puella, whether you've recited or you can visualize the paradigm as I wrote it out. Puella, puella, puellam. Puellam, eam. Singular accusative, feminine. Puellam, ancillam, filiam, eam. Let's do the masculine one. It's here. Dominus, dominum, accusative, singular. Servum, filium, So, it's easy. Eum, him. Eam. Eum. Eam. I call him eum saluto. I call her eam saluto. Eum, eam. All right. So clearly in that kind of situation, you do need to put the pronoun for otherwise you don't know what you're talking about. So eum saluto, eam saluto. Whereas the ego is not needed at the start of it, because saluto can only mean I greet. So if I put ego at the front, ego, eum or eam saluto, it's still I greet, but sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Arguably, it could be put in for emphasis. Ego, if you said it like that. I do the greeting. But for our purposes, it's not needed. And then the plural, eos, eas. Well, we often get s in the plural, so that's no great surprise. Let's go to accusative masculine. Dominos. Well, hang on. Os. Eos. Singular. Os. Eum. Eos. Feminine. Do you remember it? Plural, nominative. Puellai, vocative, puellai, accusative, puellas. Puellai, puellai, puellas. Puellai, puellai, puellas. Eas. Ancillai, ancillai, ancillas. Eas. Eos, them. Eas. Them, feminine. If they're all female. So you'd use that one, eos, like eos, if it's a mixed group or generic, and use eas if it's clearly and specifically all feminine. Be it female persons, like I see the puellas, I see them, eas, or nouns that are all, the dinner. Remember that one, cana? I eat the dinners. I eat them. It's a funny sentence, but that would be eas because it's a feminine noun. Because all nouns have a grammatical gender, be they animate or inanimate. All right. Whereas in English we'd say it for singular, but still them for plural. Ego me, I me. Tu te, that's one person. Ego me, tu te. He. Is eum, im. Ea, eam. Eos, eas. Okay. Me, te. Eum, eam. eos, eas. Ego to me, tu to te, is to eum, ea to eam, and eos, eas. I'm really not bothered about reciting these nominative ones because they're quite rare. But just so you've got the full set, nominative and accusative. We'll talk about we in another day. So guys, I hope that's clear. Let's just make a few sentences to practice this, just for a few minutes. All right, let's start with a question. Where's the daughter? Or maybe my daughter. Filia. Ubi est filia. I hope you remember that. Ubi est filia. Ubi est filia. She's in the garden. She's in the garden. Now we could say filia est in horto, but you can just say in horto est in horto, or in horto est. There's no need to put the ea in horto est. Now, taken in isolation, if you just had those three words, is in the garden, there's no explicit subject. But because it follows on from the sentence before, the question, where is the daughter? Then clearly, who est, the filia. So it refers back. So the context makes it very, very clear. All right, an explicit subject, the pronoun is not required. Where are the boys? Nominative plural, e. Pueri. Ubi, not est. Ubi est puer. Where is the boy? But ubi sunt. Ubi sunt pueri. Ubi sunt pueri. They are in the street. Via. V-I-A. Via. Via. Sunt. In we are. In we are sunt. I see them. This time you need the pronoun. I see them in the street. I see. Video. Video. The boys, so it's masculine. Eos. Video. Where? In the street. Eos. In we are. Video. Eos. In we are. Video. Ubi sunt pueri. Eos. In we are. Video. I see them, masculine or generic. Eos. In we are. Ubi sunt servi. What did I say? Ubi sunt servi. Nominative plural from servus. Where are the slaves? Where are the slaves? The slaves are sitting in the garden. They're sitting in the garden. In horto, sedent. In horto, sedent. Again, we don't need the nominative pronoun, which would be a, because we know we just asked the slaves. So, who are sunt? The slaves are in horto, sunt or sedent. I said, didn't I? In horto, sedent. The master chastises them because they're not working. Sitting in the garden. The master, dominus. Do you remember chastises? Punishes. Rebukes. Castigare. Castigare. Castigos. Castigas. Castigats. Dominus castigat them. Eos. Dominus eos castigat. Because they're not working. Quod non laborant. NT plural verb there. Quod non laborant. Now in this second part of the sentence, what we could call the second clause, after because they are not working, we don't really need to put the a, because it's clear who we're talking about. The master chastises them. Dominus eos. Eos castigat quod, because non laborant. Non laborant. Let's do one more. Where are the slave girls? Ubi sunt ancillae. Nominative plural. Always nominative with the verb to be, because it's just a subject, just being. Ubi sunt. Ubi sunt ancillae. I see them in the kitchen. I see them in the kitchen. So them this time, we've clearly all slave girls, so we've got to use the arse one. Eas, I see, video. Eas video in kulina, in the kitchen. Eas in kulina video. Eas in kulina video. They are working now. Nunc, they are working. Nunc laborant. Again, we don't need the they in the nominative, which will be ai, because it's clear who we're talking about. Nunc laborant, nunc laborant. The matron praises them. The matron praises them. Matrona. Remember, praises, laudable, laudo, laudas, laudaci, praises, right? It's the T one. Matrona laudat. Them, feminine. Eas. Matrona. Eas laudat. Let's add the word always in. Always. She always praises them. Semper. Semper. Matrona. Eas them semper laudat. Because they prepare dinner. They prepare dinner. Quod. Again, we don't, if the they, we don't need the pronoun. Quod canam, accusative. Remember cana? Quod canam. Verb is parare. Paro, paras, parat. Parat. Quod canam. Parant. Parao, paras, parat. Paramos, parat is parant. It's plural. Parant. So, ubi sunt ancillae. Eas in culina video. In culina laborant, nunc laborant. Matrona, the matron. Eas them laudat. Eas semper laudat. Quod canam parant. Quod canam parant. Now, just to point out, I mentioned before that all nouns have grammatical gender. So let's just take a masculine noun that's not a person. Let's take book. Second declension, masculine, er, liber, liber. Where is the book? Ubi est liber, ubi est liber. Let's be cheeky and add a genitive. Where's the book of the master, the master's book? Just one master. Dominus. Of the master, which case? Genitive. Domini. Ubi est liber domini. Or ubi est domini liber. Doesn't matter. Ubi est liber domini. The sun has it. Habere, he has, habet. Filius, eum, habet. Why eum? Because book is masculine, third person, so we treat it like he, even though, of course, you wouldn't say in English, the sun has him, with reference to a book, we just say it for anything that's non-human or non-animate. But in Latin, because every noun has grammatical gender, we have to be specific, and therefore a book is a masculine word, therefore we keep the masculine pronoun and translate it in English as it. Eum. The sun has it. Filius. Eum habet. Holds it. Eum tenet, from tenere. Carries it. Remember portare? Portat. Filius eum portat. Ubi est liber, where's the book? Filius eum habet. Filius eum portat. Alright, let's do the same thing with another feminine noun that's not a person. Where is dinner? Cana. Ubi est cana? Ubi est cana? The slave girl's preparing it. Be patient. Wait another 10 minutes. It's not ready yet. The slave girl is preparing it. Because it's dinner. Ancilla. The verb parare, singular. Parat. Ancilla. Parat. It. So she's preparing it. It's accusative. It's singular. And the grammatical gender of dinner, kena, at word is feminine. Therefore we give it the am just like we used for her, I see her, even though it's not, we wouldn't say in English, where's the dinner? The slave girl's preparing her. It sounds ridiculous. Preparing it. Okay, but Latin is more specific because it has grammatical gender that must be shown in the pronoun. The pronoun will show the grammatical gender, the case and the number. Eam, obieskena, ankilla, eam parat. Ankilla eam parat. The matron is expecting it, the dinner. Matrona eam expectat. Now, nunc. Obieskena, matrona eam nunc expectat. All right, very good, guys. I think you've got the picture. So let's just go through one more time. Ego, subject. Ego, me, accusative. Tu, te. Eum, him. Eam, her. Eos, eas, them. Me, te. Eum, eam. Eos, eas. Me, te. Eum, eam. Eos, eas. And focus, guys, on the patterns. Yeah, os. Go back to your puella, your first declension, wherever you've written it or you've got it in your book or something, and just look at the patterns, and it'll help you to remember them, because they are fairly predictable in what we're doing here. So I shall say thank you for tuning in. Thanks for spending these 26 or so minutes doing some Latin with me. I hope you're finding this useful. I hope it's helpful. And I intend to be back very, very soon with another video, and we'll talk a bit more about second declension nouns, possibly going on to the neuter ones, I think. So stay tuned for that. Take care, guys, and walete.